Why do I want to do this trip, mate? Adventure, travel. I feel like I live my life in a little bubble, and it's the most wonderful little bubble. I love my life and I love my home. But sometimes it's good just to step out, take a little look in the world out there, and learn from different people, different places, come back and see how that changes your life back home. When I was 19 years old, I went and lived in the Gambia for a little while. I worked in a school. And I guess a lot of people at that age out into the world, a bit of searching, and had an incredible time, changed my life really. And since then I've been back to Africa 5 times. I spent a couple of years there, different parts all over, sometimes working, sometimes travelling. So cycling for me represents something about re-empowerment. In fact, and I think our consumer world that we live in, we're living in a very disempowered society. And whenever I mention what I'm doing, people think, wow, I couldn't do that. That's a ridiculous thing to do. But essentially you could, and anyone could. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to cycle south I'm in Lewes, south to Newhaven, get on the boat, across to Dieppe, and then through France, Spain, Portugal, across to Morocco, Western Sahara, through Mauritania, down to Senegal and Gambia, and then into Mali. That particular route I find really enticing musically. So I'm going to travel through, spend some time in southern Spain, learn a bit of flamenco, find some teachers through Morocco. That change of the musical cultures from even from Celtic traditions through Arabic and Gypsy traditions right into West Africa. Movingsounds has been running for a few years, about 7 years, working together with my oldest friend Keith. We run all sorts of projects in schools and often get asked to do different work. Some music and theatre based stuff, sometimes visual art, sometimes film. And like the cycle ride, it's very much about creativity and re-empowerment and looking at environmental themes. So the idea is we have loads of fun. Our approach to engaging young people, or engaging anyone, is through having loads of fun. And in terms of the cycle ride, it links in really, really beautifully. We've been working with a school in Brighton, a primary school called Carlton Hill Primary School, and they have a blog on their own website, which I'm going to be writing for them, where the kids can ask questions. And they've already been asking me, like, what are you going to eat? Where are you going to sleep? Where are you going to poo? You know, they're really interested in the simplest things. They can't understand how it's going to be possible.
We need to prove it, prove it. We need to prove it, prove it. We need to prove it. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
I think it's really great for Ed to know that the kids know about it, and it gives him loads of encouragement and courage along the trip to know that they're thinking about him. They've got pictures of him in the corridor, and I think that he feels like there's a connection between his journey out there and back here in Brighton, Carlton Hill School, and because the whole kind of reason for his journey isn't just purely about one person's dream. It's about connecting it in with education, creativity, forming communities and connecting communities across the world.
You have to fill your bowl up. You'll be like this.
To Africa!
Yeah, I've not done a great deal of cycling in my time. I've always cycled to get around. I remember when I was at school, I lived about 20 miles from where I went to school, and so one day decided to cycle with my brother. But I don't think I've actually ever cycled further than that in one go since then. Bye-bye office, bye-bye home. But I did read the other day about a guy who went on a cycle ride and got killed by his garage door leaving the house. So, you never know. You never know what dangers are there. And I think at times it's possibly going to be quite lonely. You never know who you're going to meet. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make a movie. We're gonna cycle to Africa.
Well, the whole thing is an unknown. I don't know where I'm going to be sleeping on the first night, the second night, or the third night. I don't know what the roads will be like. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I don't know really anything about what's going to happen. So it's about the unknown, isn't it? And the nature of the unknown is quite scary.
Ready, let's go.
Turn right and DF.
Oh, I can't actually remember the last time I fixed the puncture. I'm not going to get any punctures, I'll be fine. Travel changes people, doesn't it? You see it in people. It's an opportunity to grow, and I'm hoping to bring some insights to what the world is like out there. Wow, this one's even got a discotheque. I'm really enjoying France now, actually. Meeting some good folk, sleeping in some good wild places. Slept in someone's veggie patch last night, that was great. It's the autumn in the woods, and I just sat down to have a little bit of food, and I ate some walnuts that I'd noticed on the road. And as I was sitting eating these walnuts, I noticed that I was in a chestnut grove. Now, they're not conkers, but sweet chestnuts. So I'd had a little wander around, and look what I found. Amazing. Blown away I am. I had no idea. Beautiful, beautiful. Hey. What was the idea with what? I think I'm kind of hitting one of those rock bottoms. Could really do with just a nice conversation. Do you know what I mean? Just to meet some nice people, hang out, do something fun, bit tired of the whole thing. I'm hungry and my cooker's broken. I've had enough. So, another night in the tent, and tonight I'll have some muesli. I feel like I could do with a really good rest and a hug. Still, mustn't grumble, eh? Well, actually, I feel like a right old whinge. So there you go. I'm gonna climb the Pyrenees on my bicycle. Me and my bike. We're gonna go right over the top. All the way up and all the way down. Cycling up a hill. Oh, that's too. But first of these, I've got a feeling it's going to be quite a lot. I've cycled across the whole of France, to the mountains, to the Pyrenees, and I've now cycled 2 days through the Pyrenees, over what turned out to be one of the hardcore runs of the Tour de France. It's incredible, 1,700 metre pass, which nearly killed me. Here's a dude, he's doing it. Bonjour. He hasn't got any luggage. Killer, absolute killer. I think this may be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. There's been highs and lows. This is going to be really hard. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Hey-ya! Living the life, living the dream. More of this soon, more of this.
So I had a question there. Where is he now? Yeah. Well, he set off on the 3rd of September, which is a month and 4 days ago. Have you got any guesses where he might be? Hands up. Where do you think he might be, yeah?
Near Africa.
No, I wouldn't say he's near Africa. No, I don't think he is in Africa. So, yes? You think he's in Spain? Yeah, he is somewhere in Spain, yeah. Ed's got his guitar strapped on his bike because you remember, he loves his guitar. And there's something really exciting about music and being a musician is that music travels around the world. Music itself, the songs and the rhythms and the melodies actually travel. As well as him out there on the road, up a hill, in his tent somewhere, trying to find some food. So, he's out there, but it's embedded here. And vice versa, the kids know he's out there doing that, and they feel like that connection to the rest of the world.
Ooh-la-leeny, sha-la-la-leeny. Ooh-la-leeny, sha-la-la-leeny. Ooh-la-leeny, sha-la-la-leeny. Now remember, your funk is in your knees, so I get the knees moving. Ooh-la-leeny, sha-la-la-leeny.
Ooh-la-leeny, sha-la-la-leeny.
Ow!
The creative arts are equally important to the things like literacy and numeracy. And although we're getting the message that we get often from government is all that people are concerned about is how literate or numerate people are, we just think it's equally important that they're as good as the creative arts. I mean, when these kids get older and go out to get a job, most of the jobs that they'll do in their adult life haven't been created yet. We don't know what they're going to need to be creative and inventive to. They may create their own work, they may, and they're going to have to be flexible. So all these things that help them with their creativity, I think, everything's going to be so important to them for their futures. And to enjoy their schooling as well, to look back on it and think what a great time they had, I think that's important.
So we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a puncture. 2, 3, 4. I've got a puncture. And put your hands up like this. I've got a puncture. 2, 3, 4. I'm on a puncture. And you say, I'm on top of the world. Top of the world. I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. On top of the world. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Il brano, come si dice?
Music.
La music della Navarra.
A little celebration. Done 2,000 kilometres. Made into Galicia.
Poi va avanti, ancora per molto.
Cheers.
Well, last night I camped out here, beautiful little meadow, and then in the night it was pretty chilly, but it was really cold. I woke up this morning and the inside of the tent, the condensation all frozen. Had ice on the inside of the tent. There was a frost outside, properly cold.
Why is it braking? What's going on? Oh shit, the car! Shit my pants. Okay, here goes, overtaking the lorry! We overtook the lorry!
The bells are ringing. We're here. Cathedral di Santiago de Compostela. It's emotional.
Next, into Portugal, back into the south of Spain to Sevilla, go check out the flamenco scene, and then down into Morocco and into Africa. It's been great. How it'll be crossing the desert is a whole other story. And I haven't even had one puncture. Not bad, eh? Pretty good. On the road. Loving it on the road.
Woo! Oh no. Going up a hill. Then I go down. Uphill is like earning money. So you do work and you earn money. Going down hills, like spending it. And this is the new toy. Hiya! For the dogs.
So we're about to hit 3,000, well we have, there it is, 3,000 kilometres. We're in Morocco. Made it to Africa, eh? 3,500 kilometres on the bike, pedal, and here we are in Africa. So I reckon there's about 2,500 kilometres of Morocco. That'll keep me entertained for a while. Still had no punches on the bike. No problem so far. All is well. So something I've noticed on this journey a lot is people will always warn you about their neighbours almost. I found in Spain people warned you about all going to Morocco, wouldn't trust the Moroccans. The Moroccans warn you about the desert. The people in the desert warn you about the Senegalese. There's always more danger to come. So there's always this sense of, God, actually, is this a good idea? There's no one I meet that seems to think it's doable. But of course it's fine. Of course you cross the border and in fact, people just get nicer and nicer the further south you get on this journey. I almost want to go back and do it the other way and go, I just met your neighbours, they're really nice. Those roads are a nightmare. You're kind of on the very edge, and then when a truck comes on, you have to go off the edge onto the gravelly verge bit, so.
This is the road.
Today it was torrential rain again, and I stuck my bike in a taxi.
Well, this is my first day riding in it, and it's not nice, and it's pretty dangerous. So I've taken to just staying off the road, because look, they just flip it overtake into you.
Although I have just discovered that my money is pretty much run out. It's probably about a month left. I want my mummy!
One love. Yeah. Eva, una batata. Hakuna. Mamma Africa, mamma. Mamma Africa. Soy yo. Yarama.
It's a long story as to how I got here, but yesterday I was hit by a car. It was inevitable, I guess. In the end, it pulled out in front of me. I rode straight into it, flew over the handlebars, somehow did some amazing ninja roll, landed on my feet. The guy in the car did nothing to help, and didn't seem concerned at all. Although I'm a bit bruised in my knees, my shoulder where I fell over. Look what happened to the guitar. C'est fini, hein?
Right.
So, this guitar I bought in Cape Town. It's travelled, it's its third time in Africa. The guitar is finished. But I am alive and well, and in the house of Hamid. So, I was looking for somewhere to stay, and the hotel was crazy expensive, so there was no way I could stay there. And I asked this guy if he knew anywhere I could stay, and he kindly invited me to stay in his house. And this is Hamid's mother. Ah, le petit film. Le little... Yeah, wow, yeah. And I feel like it's just, I kind of landed in Morocco. I was struggling a bit with just travelling every day and feeling quite on my own, not really meeting people, not really making a connection, not feeling like I belong anywhere. And now this fella's welcomed me into his home, and I'm resting and feel like I've finally arrived. Kind of itching to get up there, up onto the mountains. But having to be patient. Also, everyone's telling me what I'm doing is a bit dangerous, which, you know, it's always a bit worrying. The road's dangerous. The mountain's too high, it's going to be covered in snow, it's too far, the bandits got a strong resolve to do it for whatever reason. I hope it's not just my crazy stubbornness.
Then when you leave, you think, oh shit, what have I forgotten? I think I might have left a little piece of my hole. I am so happy to be here. At last, it's beautiful. Yo! We're in the Atlas Mountains. Turns out, it isn't just covered with snow. Well, these guys out here in the snow, look, They're about to pull up a car which slipped off, fell off the edge yesterday.
I'm up for the next challenge, and that's it. I'm gonna go downhill, chill out on the beach for a couple of days, and hit the desert.
It's stunning! Stunning! Sometimes wish I had someone to share it with.
Yeah, the Sahara was really hard and really long. Once you're in the desert, you don't know where you are, miles from home.
And this is it, 5,000 kilometres. And I'm going to celebrate. Russell. Celebrate with a piece of cake, I think.
Once I got into flow, I found that I could do 140 kilometres in a day. There's nothing else to do and nothing else going on. It's so much of it is just a relationship with your mind as well, and your body, because your body has to stop every now and again and eat. But your mind just goes on and on and on. And when the landscape's the same the entire time as well, it's not all easy.
I don't know whether I can do this. All the way to Senegal. Done 115k today. Not one village. The boredom. It's hard work. But that's alright, you know, that's okay if there's some reward. But this is thankless, this is just endless.
It was really hard. And what happened was I just found myself questioning over and over again, what is the point? Why am I doing this? And that was really interesting. Because I guess I'm quite competitive, but I started to wonder whether, am I trying to prove something to myself? Who am I trying to prove something to? But then you come across you face these barriers and you pass and you just carry on each day.
Oh my lord, this is hard work.
Everyone feel that. Sonia! Sonia! You're the way. Sonia!
Lordy, lordy, this is hard work. The wind right in my face. Cycling into the wind and the sun. Lost my sunglasses 2 days into the desert. Cycling into the wind and the road surface is just really ropey. You can probably see. I'm knackered. think we made it to Africa. I'm in St. Louis, and this is the crew from Guinea. Cycling in Senegal. What a joy.
There have been so many highs. So many highs. Each sort of stage of achievement, whether it's climbing to the top of a mountain and just seeing just vast beauty, to staying with a family and being just looked after, and the kindness of someone's mother or the sweetness of someone's child. So cycling here from England, I think Gambia is actually the first English-speaking country, that you get to. It's a tiny country. Everyone knows each other. It's very little crime, very peaceful. Beautiful countryside and the river, and do a lot of simple life, but just friendly people. The smiling coast of Africa, they call it. Just really kind folk, especially up in the villages, when you get away from the more tourist areas. And it's a place, on this journey, arriving here, it really feels a bit like coming home. Just very laid-back, friendly place, really. I was here in 1995, and when I was here, I lived with a family who just welcomed me as a member of the family, a lovely, lovely crew. And we're going to go and meet one of the guys now. Since that time, he's moved to England, but he runs a fantastic charity here in the Gambia called the Fresh Start Foundation. And through the cycle ride, I've been raising money for their work. So we're going to go and meet Lamin and find out what they're up to. Yo, sumole. Kotalante.
Sumole.
Ibiji.
Kotalante.
Benyali.
Yo.
Kotalante.
Enada.
Yo. Laminle.
Lamin hana jana.
Ibiji. Aha. Okay, let's go. Long time I've not seen Lamin. Long time. Lamin, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Long time.
Long time, man. How are things?
Great. I cycled here. You know?
Yeah, all the way from the UK.
We've come to check out what you've been up to.
Yeah, we here, doing some work and trying to help people.
Aha.
Yeah, Baraka.
Baraka Baki. It's so good to be back in the Gambia.
Yeah, welcome to the Gambia.
We help young people and community to alleviate poverty. Not eradicate poverty, but to help people to enhance themselves so that they will become productive rather than dependency. We are working with about 12 schools currently that are indirectly or directly benefiting from our support, either through stationery or helping them with some of their programs to sustain the schools. And one of the things that we are implementing is to work with schools, especially young people, to highlight the importance of the environment. Because in the rural parts, people depend on the land. They do everything on the land. And people grow what they eat and all this stuff. So it's important that they realize how important the environment is for them and for their livestock, You have an opportunity to talk to children who are in school because they are the future leaders. If you can change their mind and say, look, at a young stage, then you will be able to make effective change.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, wait a minute. Half of you are doing it. I need some energy. We're waking up. From 5, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. What does a tree breathe in? A tree. Ah. And what does it breathe out? So, a tree is quite important? Yeah? Okay, so we've got our first cause there. Can we say it together? Deforestation. Deforestation. Okay. Growing population. Can you say that? Growing population. Again? Growing population. We've got deforestation. Deforestation. Industrialization. Industrialization. Growing population. Growing population. I think we might get musical later, yeah? Do it on the table. You guys carry on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. You guys carry on. 1, 2, 3. You know where you go? Causes! 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 Effects! Effects! Solutions! Solutions! We say causes! Say causes! Effects! Effects! Solutions! Solutions! Deforestation! Deforestation! Industrialization! Industrialization! Growing population! Growing population! Oh no! Round of applause for these guys. So Keith, my partner in Movingsounds, has been running workshops in the school. I'm not even sure what they've been doing, you know, 1,000 miles away. But Keith's been running workshops, exploring themes of journey, of travel, of adventure, of living the dream. And we've just created a little video conversation that the kids in Carlton Hill are going to see, where I'm telling them a little bit about Gambian life, about life in the village, and responding to some of the questions that they gave me
which hopefully will spark all sorts of discussions in the school, and then Keith can use that to run workshops looking at differences in cultures, similarities in cultures, and what it might mean to travel and live in different cultures.
So we've got loads to do today. It's a very exciting day. It's our last session, and as you can see, we're going to do a whole different thing with a video from Ed, specially for you, and we're going to do a whole session about that, about his travel, but also life out there in the Gambia. So, what do you think? Are people still happy?
We don't have TVs. There's no electricity. No one has iPods. No one has, what are those little games called? I can't even remember. But do you think people are happy? Wow, people are so happy here. Just yesterday, we found a whole crew of children and girls clapping and singing and doing their dancing. People are so happy here.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having no toys at all.
There's nothing wrong with having no toys at all.
I mean, seriously, they're not everything, they're a necessity. You don't need it. Imagination!
Imagination. Yeah, do you want to just take it all the way? Can you sit down here where I am and hold this? We'll have a little... Ow! I love playing my guitar. I love playing my guitar. I love playing my guitar. You don't need electricity to be happy. You don't need electricity to be happy. We need drawing, music, dancing, playing. Music, dancing, playing. Drawing, music, dancing, playing. Drawing, music, dancing, playing. Got to move a little bit. Move. And a little clap, clap, clap. Right, you ready to stand up? And stand up. A little dance. Yep. Guitar. I love playing my guitar. I love playing my guitar. You don't need electricity to be happy. You don't need electricity to be happy. Are we ready to say what do we need?
To be happy.
What do we need?
We need drawing, music.
All you need is music.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Drawing, music, dancing, playing. Drawing, music, dancing, playing. Drawing, music, dancing, playing. Let's take it down, take it down, take it down. Hey.
Eddie came to live with the family 17 years ago. I think I was going to school at the time. And, you know, my parents are very sharing and they look after everyone, you know. So luckily he came to our house and he was living with us when we were going to school, you know. And he became part of the family, you know. And, you know, my mom and dad treat him like us, you know. So we became brothers basically, and even at that young age, you know, and then he was inspiring because he left the UK and came to sub-Saharan Africa, you know. And at the time things were tough here, you know. So now, I mean, at the time I didn't think about how important it is for someone to do what he has done, but now travel to the UK and being a little bit mature, you know, I found him very inspiring, you know, because not many people will be able to do that. Before the rainy season, we're going to plant about 1,600 trees, you know, and we want schools to take precedence, you know. So currently one of our volunteers who is a horticultural expert, he is in Quinella, and he has been working with schools to use all the materials that are available to create compost, So rather than chemicals and all this stuff, they can use the materials to produce their own vegetables.
I've done a few workshops in the upper basic school looking at global warming and climate change and telling them about my crazy cycle ride, but I think you've been doing one or two things in the schools as well.
Yes, I've been going in and talked to them about composting and how it works, and we've taken them through the basics so that the schools have got themselves a compost heap there, and so they know what it's about. At the moment, they are very dependent on rice and fish on a day-to-day basis, and so to be able to have a good variety of good quality vegetables to add to their diet is going to really make a big difference to their health. And if we have excess production, then the village can sell them. And if the village start being able to sell what they've got and find markets for it, then they're going to be able to generate some income for themselves, which they can put back into the garden again. So they can buy their seed and make themselves nicely sustainable here. So they've just got to see the end result, and then I hope they're going to embrace it. That's the plan anyway.
Nice. This is the Fresh Start agricultural revolution.
It is.
Kicking off.
Yeah, we're going for the big revolution.
Music's absolutely a universal language, isn't it? Well, it's sound. All languages use sound and movement and facial expressions, and we communicate in different ways, don't we? But music, it's magic, isn't it? It transforms.
Our role of music is very different. Our music came from griot family. Griot means blood. We are traditional musician family. We pass our music from generation to generation. I learned it from my dad. This is the music that we use to bring people together when they have a problem. When the society is in problem, this is the music we use to bring them together. In our whole life, since we start walking, we walk with music and rhythm. We talk with music and rhythm. We've grown up with music and rhythm. That's why African people are so rhythmic. They move with rhythm, they sit with rhythm, they talk with rhythm, because we've grown up with rhythm and music. I like to compose songs, and I like to compose the songs which concern most about the society, our daily living, the problem in our environment, yes, and the nature. It doesn't matter you are from Europe or from Africa. Music is a part of your body. It's a part of human soul. Yeah. You're from England. I don't know nothing about your life or your culture, but the guitar brings us together, and the kora. We are from the same father and mother, from another mother and another father. You see the fingers? They are longer than each other. They're not the same height. You see? But if you are eating with your hand, if you grab a food with your hand, your four fingers, they all became the same. If we all think of the same thing, we will be the same.
It comes together.
Yeah, but people have different mentality, different philosophy.
And music can do that.
Yeah, music can do that. All the concepts together. If you wake up in the morning, you breathe. This is music. You go, you see somebody, you say, good morning, good morning. That's music. You play a percussion, he answered. You say, good morning, I say, good morning. Question and answer is what music is. That's why I say music came from human being, music came from body. Nobody can avoid music. You will not realize, but you are always playing music every day. Your walking is a music. Your movement is music. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, how are you? I'm good. You okay? Yeah. Hey, what's up? I'm fine. This is music. This is music. We are always, every time, doing music. So it's only the musicians who took their inspiration from this movement and make songs out of it. That's what music is.
It's a healing. It's a healing for community, really, isn't it? It's transformative healing for community, if you like. They say, in fact I heard this before in West African cultures, evil spirits, they don't like unity. There's a lot of belief in spirits in traditional African culture, and where they thrive on confusion and negativity. But if you create unity between people, which is what goes on, where you drum together, you dance, you sing, the bad spirits will stay away. That's what they say here. Music in its purest form is an expression of a culture. We've just been at a festival in Senegal with the Jola people, and they're just great music. Crazy drumming and singing and clapping, and yeah, witnessed it there. Bringing people together. Yeah, the whole village will be there. You know, all the men one side, all the women the other side, the drummers, and there's this whole dance going on, interweaving community. It's like a ceilidh, where literally people are interwoven through the dance of Celtic music. It's the same in West African culture.
This is the last road on the journey. From here, I get to the coast, take the boat to Carlton, back in the Gambia. Trying to get north, trying to get home. It's time to go home. Yeah, I miss my mum. She misses me. Anyway, let's get on with it.
There's so much fun stuff we can do and so much to learn. So are you up for that? Yeah?
It's such a good example for our kids to see men in particular, because most of the staff here are women. A lot of children live with only women in the household, and to see such great male role models and the way they treat each other with such love, and they're gentle with each other and they speak so nicely and are affectionate, they hug. And I just think that's brilliant for our kids to see that men can be like that and still be men, and you know, they're wonderful role models, they really are.
I cycled from Lewes to the Gambia, and then from the Gambia to Mali, from Mali to Guinea, from Guinea to Guinea-Bissau, back to Gambia. Who would like to guess how far do you think I actually rode on my bicycle?
But the idea that you can go off and do an adventure like this in your life is such a great thing, to have that example of Ed just getting on his bike and going and doing it rather than maybe talking about it. Actually doing it is saying to them that they could do that one day, or follow their dream in some way like Ed's doing.
10 million metres, you cycled. 10 million metres. 10 million metres. Which is how many centimetres?
Like 100. 1,000 million centimetres. Yeah, he cycled 1 billion centimetres. Let's have a round of applause. Cycling 1 billion centimetres. How many millimetres? 10 billion millimetres. Round of applause.
No man is an island, no man stands alone. And the same thing is no woman is an island, no woman stands alone. So we have to come together. And unless we come together and speak, dialogue, we can't achieve anything. Let's open our hearts together and let's speak, you know. Let's speak about our problems, our environments, our children, you know, our livestock, you know. How can we live? And I think it's so important. We have to come together, and that's my philosophy, you know.
Yo, I was just thinking what I want to say from my experience with this cycle ride. I want to show people that it is a wonderful world out there. That you can cycle across deserts, over mountains, that you don't need to be scared, that you can open yourself to the unknown and you will be held and looked after. I want to show English people that Muslims are kind, gorgeous, fantastic people. That religion shouldn't be there to divide us. I want to show people that money and material possessions really ain't what it's about if you're seeking happiness. I've been staying with poor families with so little, and they're so happy. And their kids are full of joy. You know? I want to show people that you don't need to live in fear, because our world is, Western culture is filled with fear. I want to show people that it is a wonderful world out there. And just get off your butt, stop watching TV and explore it. and share some joy. Go and talk to your neighbours. Talk to each other. Ultimately, it all comes down to humanity, human kindness to each other. And well, I'll tell you what, there's a massive gaping wound. The elephant in the room is about our respect for nature. Even here in these forests, life has been shut down. It's time to connect. Time to connect with each other and with our earth. Time to share. Simple, isn't it?